This is Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr. We're here on Xbox Series X. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So this is kind of a bit of a Diablo-esque, I guess you would say, somewhat hack and slash Warhammer experience. So, it's set in the grim, dark future of the Warhammer 40k. Anyways, yeah, so you go around collecting loot, gathering resources across a variety of scenarios, planets, locations, and setups, and you are doing so alone or with others. Locally up to 2, or online up to 4, which is kind of cool. So yeah, very much a bit of a dungeon crawling style within this universe. If you are familiar with Warhammer 40k and its grim dark setup, basically you're just kind of, I would say you're building a character, and then you're going about on these different adventures and challenges and trying to take out various enemies. It's quite interesting. It's something I had taken a look at on the Xbox One X way back in the day, but then they did a next-gen version, and it wasn't really like included as part of that. Like the next-gen version of this wasn't really like part of that, so I was just kind of like, yeah, I just kind of never really checked it out, as to say here, so kind of cool to take a look at it. So conduct your investigation across a number of planets in the Caligari sector, hordes of enemies across a variety of terrain, which is quite interesting. So it's got, like, as I said, the traditional sort of dungeon crawling kind of hack and slash stuff with a little bit of shooting and blasting, and you know, it depends on the, I guess you would say to a degree, the class thing you set up, but it's also got like the traditional interactions with things of the environment, so it can still be sort of something that is reminiscent of a traditional tabletop Warhammer kind of experience, which is really quite interesting. Of course, it's violent, gory, intense, and features a wide range of foes, which, you know, it's kind of neat to dive into. And yeah, it's been quite a while since I played this. I do remember actually finding it quite interesting back in the day when I had taken a look at it on the One X, so kind of nice to have an excuse to finally dive in and play the game and take a look at it. We'll capture all of the targets. So this one's kind of interesting from a like technical perspective. So it's a native 4K at 60 FPS, and they've done improvements. If you did the 1X version, it's got like better environmental, like shadows, textures, stuff like that. So it is visually a little bit more intensive than it was in the past, though you may be prone to seeing some technical hiccups here or there as you go and play through it, because it is kind of demanding. There are like some settings too as far as video, but it's just mostly like contrast, brightness, and stuff. It was also really weird when I was playing this. Like, I had a couple levels sort of start where there wasn't like audio, or the audio was faint in the game, and I found that a bit odd, and then just restarting the mission kind of fixed it, but I was sort of like, eh? Like, it was just a bit peculiar and something I wanted to kind of highlight, because I was like, why is that happening? Because I thought it was on my, like, recording end and stuff, and I was like, no, that's the game for some reason. Yeah, anyways, kind of a neat game if you're into Warhammer. You can zoom in, zoom out, kind of get a command of things. We've got a squad here going in and dealing with the Tyranids. Always a fun, monstrous foe to deal with. And then, yeah, just kind of a variety of different, you know, kind of scenarios in combat. And then, of course, what the... and then, of course, all the loot and stuff that you can gather along the way. It's actually pretty well put together. And you're an Inquisitor, you're the Imperium's most powerful agent. It's from the people that made the incredible adventures of Van Helsing. So if you're familiar with that series, there's a few of those, and those, again, are very Diablo-esque. I think I've done videos on a number of them, if not all of them, running on the Series X at one point or another, so that's all up on the channel too. So search closely in the fortress-monastery, the Martyr, and purge it of the chaos lurking behind the scenes. Simple enough. Brutal tactical assaults and attacks as you build up your character and use better abilities and things to unleash upon your foes. This is kind of really cool. Man, seriously, like if you've never you know, sort of embraced this game and stuff, it's quite neat. Wow, there's a lot of enemies here. I'm feeling the pain for sure. I think I'm gonna like die. Yeah. Straight up dead from that, eh? Well, let's get back in there and hopefully we can win the fight this time. Guess that is kind of too big of a guy to handle, as to say. Thought I could get in there and go toe to toe with it, but I was having none of that. For the Emperor. Pretty good looking though, eh? Like seriously. Okay, well I guess I should probably put on better gear and stuff. What do I have on there right now? 14, 9, okay. There's just like a lot of stuff I have. I got a pistol thing. Yeah, that's better than what I had. A master shotgun. Oh, I kind of like the idea of a sword and a pistol. I think it's just cooler. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just kind of cooler. And you collect all this gear. 15. Is that better than what I had? Lots of stuff. Is that better than what I had? Yeah, it is. Okay, let's go. Mission complete. For the Empire. Oh, and there's like, I think there's like an Ultimate Edition stuff with different like content that too in this game. So you get like extra maps and scenarios and setups, and then on top of that, there's also the like pets and cosmetics and stuff, which is kind of neat. A great sword. Am I wearing a great sword? Okay, let's go back to the star map. For the Empire. Yeah, there's a demonic incursion, research station, sanctum mission. Like a dynamic infestation seems like a fun activity for an Inquisitor to deal with on a particular day of the week. And there's also, if you like this one in a similar style, there is Chaos Bane, but that's the 30k universe of Warhammer, so a little bit different. But I think that's another one too that I didn't get to check on, because they were doing like next gen versions and you just didn't get like upgrades, and I was like, are you serious?
We've detected several warp rifts in the area. The veil between the
Oh, that's cool.
and the Imperium is fading. We have to stop this madness.
Maybe we don't have to stop this madness, but we probably should. Yeah, it's like all we're into is never-ending war or something. I quite like these rocket bags we got going on here. Very, very cool. And that's where you get the Diablo of it, I guess you would say. The dungeon crawler of it is just gathering all this different like loot and gear and stuff that does different effects and different ways to like fight enemies. It's very, very cool if you're into this style of gameplay. Especially since they somehow make it work despite there being like a combination of melee weapons and guns. Always fantastic. Yeah, this is a bit of an infestation, is it not? But yeah, no, a wealth of content. You've got a pretty matured version of the game at this point. Which I think is pretty spectacular. A medical bay, thank you very much. Be good here, yeah. And then, of course, if you can play in co-op, it's obviously an even better time. What am I doing? I'm just like standing there. I love this laser. It looks so cool. And the level of fidelity when you get like these top-down kind of things looks absolutely excellent. Oh yeah, I forgot, we're dealing with the demonic incursion. Usually that means these blood portals need to be... sorry, the warp gates need to be destroyed.
Perhaps we can save the day after all.
Well, I'll try my best. Yeah, I love the vibes and aesthetics of this. It'd be really cool if you get a group of people together to like just mow through this. I'm going to die. I'm like, should we go back to get that? I'm just trying to find out where this gate entrance is. Feeling a bit of hostility. I hate these warp gates. They should perish. Cross anything else ungodly towards the Emperor.
Reinforcements are emerging into real space.
There's like a lot of enemies around here. I don't like all these guys like burning me alive here. I'm not a fan.
Perhaps we can save the day after all.
Yeah, we can, Captain Regna. A reborn marauder? Ooh, these gruesomely detailed environments. I love it. Yeah, it's a shame I didn't get to check this out a long time ago on this, like, you know, current gen. Apostle of Nurgle? Yeah, I'm actually a bit of a tank if you think about it, coming here and just like smacking these enemies around and stuff like that. I think the final portal's this way. I haven't even died. Yet, of course. I'll take the medical supply though, because my health's looking low. Alright, let's purge. Okay, I'm feeling the pain. Okay, definitely feel the pain here. Alright, we got it.
Have averted a disaster. All the warp gates are sealed, although I can still hear the echoes in my head.
I need to get out of here. Need to get out of here. Okay. Let's escape. You know, because I was gonna die in like 2 seconds there. I didn't even have any health injections. That would not have been lovely. These action RPGs are pretty cool. Unlocked new perks. That's a better eye plant than the one I have. You get a lot of random crap in this. This is like, do I need like basically the same weapon over and over again? That's 16. I should have kept the sword. I like the sword over that. I'm a big fan of the chainsaws. Assault power armor. Okay. That actually might have been better. Anyway, it doesn't matter. In the not too distant grim dark future. Hunt for the martyr. Let the research begin. And there is like actually like a bit of a like there's a story and campaign, and as I said, there's extra DLC stuff that extends the story of the campaigns.
My assumptions were correct. The research sanctum has been attacked. I see signs of a recent struggle. I found the corrupted insignia of the Imperial Guard on the corpses. Deserters and heretics, that's for sure.
I hate deserters and
What were they
heretics.
doing there, looting a tech priest base?
They must be either extremely reckless or very determined. I'll find out soon enough.
Pretty cool. Seriously, this is tops. I had some spare time to like dive into this further. Purge the corruption.
What is this research sanctum exactly, Inquisitor?
It belongs to one of the specialist divisions of the Adeptus Mechanicus, studying ancient artifacts.
It surely has nothing to do with the whole complex being weirdly abandoned.
Careful, Captain. You're being so
Oh, the destruction looks so cool. They did a really good job of this. Seriously, it's got great vibes. Actually, kind of surprised there aren't more, action RPGs like this for different like IP and property. Like, it's probably a ton of work to get this all like set up and balanced and all that across different difficulty settings and combat and all that, but the end results can be pretty spectacular and lots of fun.
Inquisitor, you have visitors.